Right, we're going to be doing a before and after video here. This is my 2004 Chevy Trailblazer. I'm going to be putting a leveling kit in the front of the vehicle. It measures 1 3/4. So we're hoping to level the front with the rear. And you can see that these Trailblazers sit lower in the front than in the back. My daughter has the exact same vehicle. It's a 2007. Hers sits exactly the same way. Identical vehicles. Hers is just a few years newer than mine. So my wheels, anybody that's wondering, those are Verde Avatars. They're 20-inch, and the width of the tire is a 255/50 R20. So anyway, we'll be back. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is put the car up on stands, just the front 2 tires. So I got this tire up on a stand. I just jacked it up at the frame, put stands up, get the wheels off the ground so that you can take the tires off. Okay, so the next thing I did was I went right up here to the top of the strut tower, and there's 2 bolts that hold the strut tower. They're both 18, and I just used an air ratchet. In this case, I had to use a swivel, and I went ahead and used air and just went from the top and got them. It's easier than sitting there with a wrench and trying to unbolt them. I just get in. There's another one there, and it's just much easier just to get it from the top. Get an air gun, just pop them off. 2-second job. Now I've got the struts unbolted from the top. So now all that's really left to do, you got a bolt here to free this up. As you can see, my sway bar is a bit different than the older model Trailblazer. There is no bar there. It's more of a pivoting bar than the older 2002s or whatever. By removing that, I actually was able to lower it enough to get it in and out. Okay, then this is stuck in this position like this. Okay, so what I did was I loosened this bolt and I sprayed some WD in here. When we took the bolt and we tried to turn this, it was frozen in here. It would not move. But what we did was, by loosening the bolt and spraying some WD-40 in here, I was able to pull this out like this and then take my pry bar and put it on here like this, and we were able to actually get it to turn and break free. So what ended up happening is, I believe really it just has some corrosion inside of here where the hole for the bolt goes, so it would only go in that exact spot. Once I got the pry bar in there and did it, as you can see now, it moves freely with the bolt in there, and I'm able to now line it up where I need to. Now I'm going to take the spacer. Now the way this is designed is there's 2 threads here and 1 here. The hole is on the back side like this. So what I'm going to do is we need to get this in this position. So that's going to be at an angle like that. So that'll go on there. We need this bolt to face back towards me, and that's it. We're on. Now I'm not going to put the studs in now. I'll put them in from the top. That way I don't have to fight with it. That way, hopefully, with a little pry bar, I can pry down and I can get these to go in. So my next step now is just to go ahead and put the nuts on. All right, so we pretty much got this one back together. All that's left to do at this point is put this back on and tighten it up. We did get all 3 bolts in. Right here, I took a die grinder, a porting bit really, and I just did a little port bit there for the bolt to fit. You're able to slide it from the top straight down. There's just enough room. And then to get the bolt, use a little pry bar and push up on that, and you can get the nut started, and then just use a wrench to tighten it. This here is definitely at a major angle. You can see that there is clearance. It's pretty damn close to the spring there. But once it's all the way up, it doesn't touch the spring. Okay, there's a couple tricks I wanted to show you guys. One is, you'll have a really hard time getting this back on here. You're going to have to use a ratcheting deal here. What you want to do is go into the frame, like right here, and go into the frame down here and just go around this up here. I'll try to show you. I've already done it. So anyway, you'll go around, hook up into here, and then you'll be around this here. And go ahead and ratchet this in. That will pull this in towards there and allow this to pop in. It's just really difficult to get it back. It's just got a little bit of pressure on it. So you have to use that ratcheting deal to get that. Okay, then for the sway bar here, these bolts, they like to just spin. You need to take a pry bar, and what you'll do is put it in between like that, and then pry on it to keep tension on it as you loosen the bolt, and you'll be able to get the bolt to come loose. When you tighten it back up, you can do the same process. Get the nut started, and then just use it to pry on it to do it. So that's how you get those in. To get this in, like I said, I did not put the studs in first. I lined these up, jacked it up a little bit so it was sitting just a little bit off. I wasn't forcing it up, and then I was able to move it enough to get the studs to line up. Up top here, what we did was right here, you'll see the nut here, and I actually put the pry bar in like this from this side here, and we just pried it from that side, and that was how we were able to line it up. It definitely takes two people and some patience. Do not strip the bolt when you put it in. Just be patient, get that bolt in. So that's how that was. For the rest here, let's see, we'll go ahead and snap this back in now that we're ready. But like I said, this side is pretty much done. That's it for this side. All right, guys. All right, and here's the final product. In my opinion, it's just a little bit higher in the front, and I probably would have done maybe a 1.5 spacer instead of a 1 3/4. I may have even went down to a 1-inch spacer instead of a 1 3/4. The 1 3/4, in my opinion, is too much. I feel like I need to raise their back up now at least 1 inch. But it definitely looks nice. Looks better.